Different stages of life need different versions of you, like different hours of day need different positioning of sun too. Wherever you are, you're meant to be. Oh, above or beneath the horizon of sea, making this world beautiful by just being you, changing every day, lesser like yesterday's and more like today's you. हेलो प्रणाम नमस्कार प्राची द तत्व गर्ल एक बार फिर से आपके साथ और आप सुन रहे हैं माय इको फ्रेंडली सस्टेनेबल पॉडकास्ट ग्रीन तत्वा टॉक्स नेचर आई एम श्योर इज समथिंग दैट एवरीवन कैन रिलेट एंड जो ये चेंज है ब्यूटीफुल सा फ्रॉम स्प्रिंग्स होपफुल न्यू ब्लूम्स एंड फॉल्स एक्सक्विजिट array of colors to winter's magic and summer's energy. Each season abounds with different types of natural beauty to explore and admire. और जब हम इन चेंजेस की बात करते हैं तो आई थिंक वी शुड अंडरस्टैंड दैट नेचर इज ऑलवेज ट्राइंग टू टेल एंड टीच अस समथिंग टू हैव अ बैलेंस्ड लाइफ वी शुड हैव अ पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट वी शुड वर्क इन सिंक विथ नेचर एंड नॉट अगेंस्ट इट एंड बहुत अच्छे से हम ये जानते हैं कि ये जो नेचर की छोटी छोटी चीजें हैं जैसे द ट्रू ब्यूटी ऑफ लाइफ द लिविंग ब्रीदिंग अर्थ दैट pulsates with its own vibrations, the grass, the trees, the flowers, the animals, fish, birds, all striving to survive in their own personal way. And the different moods of the weather, calm, gentle, or angry and vengeful. I think nature के साथ जब हम होते हैं ना, you feel the best because it is the best time to think, reflect on life and just enjoy the surroundings. And मुझे नहीं लगता ऐसा शायद ही कोई होगा who is not captivated by nature. And the best part is communication with nature requires no words, just vision and hearing will do. लेकिन जब इस विजन एंड हियरिंग को कुछ वर्ड्स दिए जाते हैं तो आई एम श्योर एक पोएट्री बनती है और इसी पोएट्री के बारे में आज हम कुछ बात करने वाले हैं ग्रीन तत्वा टॉक्स पे. Remember the poem which I read in the beginning of the podcast? Well, it's written by Vaishnavi Joshi, who is author of the book Nature and You. And आज मेरे साथ है वैष्णवी on Green Tatwa Talks. So let's welcome Vaishnavi to Green Tatwa Talks. Hi Vaishnavi, how are you?
Hi, Prachi. Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing great and hoping the same for you.
It's my pleasure. Most welcome to Green Tatwa Talks. And first of all, congratulations for your book. बातें आगे करने से पहले थोड़ा सा वैष्णवी के बारे में बताना चाहूंगी. वैष्णवी जोशी is a mom and an IP professional by day, but a nature lover since ever. She finds solace in admiring beauty of nature through writing, and she has recently written a beautiful book titled Nature and You. She is a MSc Biotech from Pune University. She is a registered Indian patent attorney and worked as an intellectual property consultant, which is totally new to me. So, वैष्णवी, जो मेन चीज मैं बताना चाहूंगी अपने लिसनर्स को कि वैष्णवी ने अपनी ये बुक नेचर एंड यू लिखी when she was on maternity leave. So I think Vaishnavi मुझे कहना चाहिए that you gave birth to two babies, right? Beautiful baby as well as
Yeah,
your, right?
yeah. I do call my book as my second baby already. Yeah.
Of course. So उस book के बारे में थोड़ा सा बताइए that what inspired you to write that book, because when I read that poem it was really beautiful. So share that, like क्या ऐसा सूझा या what inspired you to write nature.
Yeah, so like you said, I've always been in awe of nature. Whenever I need to start my day, I just like to, step out and take a walk around in nature and, admire the beauty. So I think we all need to slow down. And whenever we get time to do so, look for something that is sustainable. I mean, we do have all electronic entertainment options on, yeah, right there on our desk, right? But the thing is, during my maternity break, I got a lot of time to reflect, to self-reflect, and to write. So I thought, why not take lessons from the nature, Mother Nature, which is just, nourishing me, like I'm nourishing my baby. And it has been doing this since many ages, since Big Bang Theory, since the universe has been created. And the nature only gives, gives, gives. This is exactly what our mothers do. but we understand our mothers better when we ourselves become a mother. So this
True.
is the correlation that I found. And I found that there can be many such analogies, right? There, look at the birds around us, look at trees. If you look at one particular kind of tree, it has one specific type of leaves, and there is symmetry in each part of nature. I don't think any AI can design anything so perfectly as nature does. So I just thought, I have some time for myself whenever my baby used to sleep, and I won't be able to sleep immediately because yeah, his schedule was very different than my usual body schedule. And then I thought I should just write down my thoughts and see if something beautiful comes out of it or not, just for the love of expressing, because I love to write. And when I did so, I need to mention that so there was this challenge by Booklift Publishing. It was a 21 days challenge, and I took up that challenge. It involved like writing one poem per day, and I found that I finished 21 poems before 21 days could finish. So I said, yeah, I'm in that writing kind of zone right now. So let's explore more, and that is how this collection of 51 poems came through. And fortunately, by God's grace, I could publish it in time, and this August the book got published. So my aim was to, even if you cannot, if even if my readers cannot step out in the nature and get some time for themselves, they can just, open my book and try to read a poem or a few lines. You can start anywhere, or follow the index, and I think most probably, most likely, it will connect you to nature right there.
Wonderful. That's
So
really
yeah.
beautiful. तो मतलब when you said ना कि बाहर निकल के when want to feel the nature, उसी से पता लग जाता है that how beautiful you connect. And यहाँ पर I would like to quote वैष्णवी का ही एक quote that no modern architecture can replicate symmetry the way nature does. How true. मतलब सच में जो नेचर की सिमेट्री है, जो हम ज्योमेट्री कह सकते हैं, या बैलेंस जो वो हमें शो करते हैं इन अप्स एंड डाउन्स, इट इज सिमिलर टू अवर लाइफ एंड आई थिंक वी जस्ट नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड इट ब्यूटिफुली. एंड मुझे आपके चैलेंज को सुनकर भी बहुत अच्छा लगा. आई विल हैव फ्यू क्वेश्चंस अबाउट दैट आल्सो, वैष्णवी.
Sure,
तो
sure.
मुझे बताओ
Yeah.
कि जब आपने ये बुक की सोची एंड यू सेड दैट यू वर गोइंग टू मिडल, how does motherhood and nature, what were your thoughts on that? मतलब I have yet to read your book of course, so मैं वो जरूर
Yeah.
जानना चाहूंगी. बिकॉज बीइंग अ न्यू मदर, आपके ऊपर लाइक यू सेड बायोलॉजिकल क्लॉक हमारी मैच नहीं होती है. एट टाइम्स आप कभी टायर्ड होते हो, नहीं होते हो. एंड देन अगेन थिंकिंग अबाउट नेचर एज अ सिमिलर मदर दैट यू हैड रिसेंटली बिकम, हाउ वाज दैट थॉट एंड हाउ यू मतलब उन दोनों को आपने कैसे बॉन्ड करने की कोशिश की? एंड आर देयर एनी पोएम्स ऑन मदरहुड आल्सो इन योर बुक, और लाइक टेल मी अबाउट दिस.
Yeah. Yeah, so there are quite few poems. There's also a poem on childhood. When we were kids, we did not even realize we are making memories for lifetime. And
Mm-hmm,
our parents were having the best time of their life.
mm-hmm,
ये तब समझ आता है जब आप खुद पेरेंट बनते हो. Now when I look at my baby, he's a toddler now. So when
mm-hmm,
he was born, the just slowly he achieved one milestone after other. The baby starts looking around, starts smiling. You want to be, so firstly I'll just clarify about nature and nature as a mother, right?
right.
Mother, whenever a woman gives birth to a child, the child is born and so is a mother. You have never been a mother to anyone before, right? And everything changes, your priorities change. You want to align yourself so much so that the baby should, whatever the baby needs, you should be there. And you just want to be a very good parent. I won't say perfect parent. There's nothing called as perfection here, but there's your baby can't have a mother better than you.
Right.
Similarly, if you look at the nature that we were originally blessed with, the world before pollution took over, the world before deforestation took over, it was so complete in itself, right? Whatever food you needed the fruits, you needed farm produce, all of it was so natural and organic. And today we are here, sitting in metro cities like I'm sitting in Mumbai, and we are now craving for fresh produce, fresh farm food,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
we need to pay so much more for organic food. Why? Because we did not treat our environment the way we should have. We took it for granted. That is also something which happens to humans. We take our mothers so much for granted. We don't understand the how much she does for us day in and day out. That is how the nature mother, she does so much for us day in and day out. The nature blessed us with very good 3 seasons, at least in India, I'm speaking about. And now what have we done? We get rains in Novembers, we get rains in January, we get rains all over the year. It is, some people say it is not even actual rainfall. It is that is what is causing issues, yeah, for agriculture. So we've basically messed up. And so the first poem in my book itself is Mother Nature, and there I've just I've given a message that if you cannot love her equally, so when I say her, I want to uh, address Mother Nature or your mother or anyone who has been a mother-like figure in your life. If you can't treat them equal with so much love, so much abundance, at least treat her right, right? That is something basic we can do. Even if you can't, because we can never do how much a mother has done for her child. The child can never does it, and neither does the mother expect the child to do it. And it is exactly the same equation we have with our nature. Our nature will never expect us, and neither can we do as much as the nature does for us. So there are such striking similarities, and nature will never change for you. Like your mother will also never change towards you. You may have tantrums, you may have mood swings, you may go on with your development and progress and everything, but your mother will be the still same mother, and she'll look at you as the same baby which she held on the first day when you were born. And so is nature. If you're treating her right, if you go to, nowadays there are a lot of community projects that are happening where people as a community are coming together. They are trying to create eco space. A group of people who are very aware about environment, and you will notice in such communities we go there, and the environment over there is perfectly in balance. Why? Because they are not harming, they are keeping the nature as it is. So if we can preserve it, then there's nothing like it. So same thing happens between a mother and a child also, and that was one of the striking similarity. And parenting is nurturing. I think it is very synonymous with nurturing. You will never get bored of taking care of your kids, no matter how old they get, no matter if even if they become, even if my son becomes a teenager tomorrow, I'll be keeping asking him the same questions. Have you eaten enough? What would you like to eat? What can you make for you? So yeah, I mean, yeah, these were some of the points. And of course, most important thing is unconditional love, because there's no love as unconditional as your mother loves you, your parents. The way your parents love you, no one else in the world would. And that is the only love which comes without any expectations. So you just give. You want to be there. You just want your child to breathe and to live and to prosper. And same, the nature doesn't expect anything from you, loves you unconditionally. So out of the many similarities, I think these are few I would like to pinpoint.
That's actually beautiful, Vaishnavi. मतलब मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा, and I can of course relate it. I'm sure not only me, many people can relate it because माँ को हर कोई जानता है. बस the only difference is कि जब mother nature की बात आती है तो we become indifferent. And you're very right in saying कि mother is always giving her unconditional love. वो अगर कभी डांट भी रही है तो it is for the good of the child. सो आई एम श्योर कि अगर मदर नेचर भी कभी रिटेलिएट करी तो वो बिकॉज सिर्फ इसीलिए बिकॉज वी आर हार्मिंग somewhere we are torturing, and that is the reason why she is just asking you to be aware, be cautious, be careful of whatever you are doing. So I actually love these symmetries, and really lovely कि you started your book on this note also. मुझे ये बताओ कि like you have been doing poetry from earlier कि this was like mother nature से inspire हुआ and ये book हुआ इसलिए you came into poetry, मतलब just a random question.
Again, I would like to credit my grandfather and my parents for this, because they inculcated in me this habit of maintaining a diary. So even when I was in grade 4 or grade 5, I started writing a diary. I would just write how my day was. And that's how slowly. And then one day I asked my grandfather, because he used to do poetry, again, just for himself, not published or anything. And one day I asked him, and he just told me, whatever thoughts I have, I bring them down on paper, and then I try to look for words, like in the way they would rhyme together. And that really fascinated me. And since then, I have been writing mostly personal stuff, and sometimes for the birthdays or whatever special days I had for people around me. And yeah, it was much like that. It was just in my own diary, or now my cell phone actually, because now we don't have a diary or anything. So yeah, I'm guilty of using a cell phone for writing poetry. And but I'd never written about nature before. But since this analogy struck my mind, I thought let's now pen it down this way, and that is how poetry into nature happened. Because I wanted a theme which goes throughout the book, right? You can of course write about different. I have 51 poems, so you can always write about different themes in one book. But I just wanted to connect dots and make it much more meaningful for people. And moreover, anything, I wanted to give out a message. And even if a few readers read it and change their mind, I think that will be a very big achievement for which I've written down this book.
Wonderful. Here, I would again like to quote a beautiful quote by you only, that never seen a relationship more rhythmic and hit as the one between waves of water and sand surrounding it. मुझे ये आपकी quote, that was the first one which I read when I stumbled upon your account. Okay, यहाँ पर मैं अपने listeners को of course बताना चाहूंगी. You can reach Vaishnavi and check out her book. Her Instagram handle is Vaishnavi, Vaishnavi 2317. Her book is very much available on Amazon. You can check her profile and you can check the book and how it is coming, her quotes, her related material to Nature and You. Everything is available on her Instagram channel. So please follow her and you can check out some beautiful poetry, some beautiful quotes on her profile, which are connected to nature. नेचर की बात करते करते मैं एक चीज पे जरूर आना चाहूंगी वैष्णवी, जब हमने मदरहुड की भी बात की.
So,
आई अगेन
yeah.
विल ब्रिंग योर कोटेशन ओनली. जब मैंने ये पढ़ा था कि आई नेवर लीव अ चांस टू टीच माई सन about the greatness of a woman as the one who is born twice, once as herself and once as a mother, is only a woman. And this is actually a very beautiful quote which you have written. और हम जब अभी बात कर रहे हैं नेचर, उसका कोरिलेशन विथ मदर, mother nature की, and when you talk about teaching about these things to your kids, तो मुझे like I'm sure अभी आपका बेटा बहुत छोटा है, बट लाइक आई वुड लाइक टू नो योर व्यूज कि जब हम बात करते हैं आज की इस जनरेशनल इस टाइम पर बच्चों को ये चीजें सिखाने की, बी इट अबाउट नेचर, बी इट अबाउट रिस्पेक्टिंग वुमेन, या बी इट अबाउट बीइंग अ कॉन्शियस एंड observant and a good human being. What are your thoughts on it when we connect nature to mother and your journey on it?
Yeah, definitely. So the quote that you read, again, that came from right from my heart. Because first of all, if you look at the current situation about women's safety, right, in India, it is in one of the darkest era, I would say, because every day something or the other comes up in news, and this particular thing was written after the Kolkata incident that happened, and I was very moved up after it. And I was just sitting with my baby, and I felt that even if I would have been blessed with a daughter, I would have felt the same, right? Unfortunately, many people don't feel the same things. uh, I think what needs to be taught to men needs to start at very early stages. When every mother who's parenting a son, when she will teach her son that he has to respect women, he has to respect his female friends, the importance of consent, the importance of safety, the importance of not just treating a woman right, but ensuring that the women around you are safe. That is something which has to be taught not only to girls but also to boys. And that is when the change will start happening. You cannot teach your boy just things like, the ones who like pink color are girls, the ones who you play with balls, but the others who play with dolls are girls. No, the girls are much more capable. And women, particularly, are much more capable than men are. But even if you don't want to be a feminist, at least be there and ensure safety of the women around you. This is something which I really want to inculcate in my son. And I think as a community, every mother, whether you are blessed with a girl or a boy, please treat them equally and give your girls also all the opportunities. Don't get afraid about their safety. Be there for them. It will cost you your personal time, but be there, ensure their safety. And if you can always change the mindset of people, I think some things can be taken care of, if not everything, because that is a very big change we are talking about. But as women, we need to be like a lioness, right? I've even written a poem about this, and in that I wrote that our courage is that of a lioness. We won't give up on this. We won't sit in houses. We are very much out of that era, especially in India. This happened ages before when women were confined to their houses. Now we are becoming CEOs. We are becoming market leaders. We are becoming leaders of this country in every walk. And today, just because some people who are not in correct state of mind are harming our safety, we won't take it lightly. No one should. Voice your opinion as much as you can. You wouldn't believe, Prachi, I wrote so many stories. So again, I we can only do candle marches and things like this, unfortunately. But I think if you can change thinking of people, somewhere change will start happening, because it's the thinking which is leading to thoughts.
Right.
And you cannot teach to all classes of society, but at least somewhere you can start and make difference. Even if the people who, now there is another category, they would say that we didn't do anything wrong, but why are you letting anything wrong happen to someone else in front of your eyes, right? You can be there and you can be present and you can take a charge, you can take control. So I just want to say this to every woman, every be it my niece, be it my daughter, be it anyone, my mother. You can be of any age, but please, please, please don't let these things harm you. Own your independence, own your safety, and we need to get our freedom back. This is We already have our freedom, we just need to add safety to it. That's the only thing.
That's really beautiful, Vaishnavi. मतलब you hold such beautiful thoughts and they are really really मतलब required है आज के टाइम में सोसाइटी में इन चीजों को इम्पार्ट करने की जरूरत है मतलब I would have said कि you should also come up with another book for this thing but सिर्फ बुक से नहीं होगा you're very
Yeah,
right ये thoughts and thinking को बदलने की जरूरत है and
correct.
if we as a mothers are treating our sons and our daughters, our children equally, we are teaching them to respect women as well as mother nature, of course. I'm sure we are trying our best to inculcate those good habits. And I just wish कि ये thought process सब तक पहुंचे वो ये चीज को रियलाइज करे कि एक वुमेन की सेफ्टी एक वुमेन का रिस्पेक्ट क्या होता है because not only the freedom is not the everything yes respect एंड सेफ्टी कि एक सिटी में बाहर
Yeah,
निकलने से पहले उस लड़की को जाने में डर ना लगे एक मदर को अपनी बच्ची को किसी सिटी में किसी पर्टिकुलर ऑफिस में कहीं ज्वाइन करने में डर ना लगे आई एम श्योर वो दिन जिस दिन आएगा we can freely say yes we have attained that freedom and आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा कि सिर्फ कैंडल marches and this is not the answer yes we need to change that thinking and it is high time मतलब इससे ज्यादा अब और ज्यादा एक्सपेक्ट करना बहुत बुरा लगता है जब हम अपने बच्चों को बढ़ते हुए देखते हैं एंड दिस ऑफ कोर्स मैं अभी आपसे बात करने से पहले ही आपका एक और पोस्ट वही पढ़ रही थी where you have written that she may seem fragile but her heart
yeah,
endures at most bearable pain. She may be judged by every choice, yet seldom does she complain. And if she is given the right to be born, provide her protection every moment since she is born. And Vaishnavi, this is really, really beautiful. Matlab, you have such beautiful thoughts not only for nature but of course आपकी जो वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट वाला या वुमेन का एंगल है दैट इज रियली टची एंड बहुत दिल से आता है दिस आई कैन फील इन ओनली आई थिंक मैंने आपकी अभी तक से दो चार पोएम्स ही पढ़ी हैं सो आई वुड ऑफ कोर्स रिक्वेस्ट ऑल माय लिसनर्स टू प्लीज गो टू वैष्णवी's प्रोफाइल चेक आउट her book nature and you and you will get to see such beautiful thoughts from this beautiful girl वैष्णवी अभी आपने जैसे थोड़ी सी बात की हम जब बात कर रहे थे कि वुमेन आर नाउ गेटिंग एन अपॉर्चुनिटी यहाँ पर मैं थोड़ा सा नेचर से हटकर एक सवाल जरूर करना चाहूंगी द फर्स्ट
Sure.
थिंग व्हेन वी इंटरेक्टेड, आपने कहा था कि यू आर वर्क एज अ इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी कंसल्टेंट. थोड़ा सा जानना
Yeah.
चाहूंगी बिकॉज दिस इज समथिंग न्यू टू मेनी. सो व्हाट इज
Yeah.
इट, मतलब व्हाट आर यू वर्किंग एज एंड व्हाट इज दिस इंटेलेक्चुअल कंसल्टेंट एक्चुअली इज?
Yeah. So, actually, intellectual property is the property you earn through your creativity, through your intellectual, through your intelligence. And there are different types of properties. There's patents, or patents. You can pronounce it either way. There is trademarks, there's copyright, lot more. So, for example, you go on Instagram and you try to add some music to your content, and Instagram will say, "Hey, you don't have copyright for it," or there are some copyright issues. Why is this? Because the person who created it owns the rights, right? So similarly, intellectual property is anything that you earn through your creativity, through your thinking. And it is like any other property. You can, yeah, you can sell it, you can own it. You need to first register it in your own name. And there are different processes involved for registering different kind of intellectual property. For example, patents के लिए it will be different. So patents you can get for your ideas or your device, some device, unique device that you have, created, maybe some eco-friendly air filter or something like that. I'm just like giving you an example.
हाँ,
So you need to yeah, you need to give a detailed description of it and apply for a patent. And if upon undergoing thorough examination, if the authorities of India, we have Indian Patent Office. If you're applying in India, then they would do a thorough examination and they'll check if anyone else in globally has tried to apply for something similar. And if they think that what you have done is indeed inventive and indeed novel, and has industrial application, they will give grant you a patent. And then for 20 years, you have this patent with you. And then anyone else who is trying to do same work in India will have to seek your permission to legally practice it, to legally use it. Okay, and that is when you start earning royalty. This is about patents. So trademarks again is uniqueness. For example, the voice of Shri Amitabh Bachchan, right? Everyone was using it in mimicry, but then he has his legal solutions in place, and no one else can use it. Similarly, I think even yeah, another actor, I think it's Mr. Jackie Shroff who has done it, and he's only allowed one or two comedians to use it. No one else can use it. So, yeah, so trademarks is different. It is for your name. It can be for, your the logo that you're using for your business and anything which gives your business an identity, right? And even voice can be trademarked. Even fragrance can be trademarked. This is very fascinating. Yeah. And then there is copyright. जैसे मैं पहले बता रही थी, copyright is for anything that you write. So for example, the book that I've written, I own copyright for all of the poems that are written. So if anyone wants to reproduce it for commercial purposes, of course, then they have to seek my consent before publishing it.
Right.
So actually, we everyone owns copyright for the work that is being done by them naturally. But if in case in future, God forbid, you have to fight that I am the original owner of it, then you should have a registered copyright in place. So these are the few again geographical indicators is also one. So these are few intellectual property rights. We'll have to discuss it in detail later. But just to give you a glimpse, this is something which comes out of your head. So if you ask me for a literal translation, it is बौद्धिक संपदा जो आपकी बुद्धि से आपको मिलती है,
Right.
that is बौद्धिक संपदा. और उसके ये कुछ प्रकार है जो मैंने आपको अभी बताया.
Beautiful.
uh,
Great.
this is intellectual
काफी न्यू,
property.
मुझे नहीं पता था. एंड सो गुड टू नो बिकॉज वैष्णवी, आपके थॉट्स एंड आपकी माइंड की जो एक क्रिएटिविटी है, इट हैज ऑफ कोर्स इसका कॉपीराइट होना ही चाहिए बिकॉज यू हैव ब्यूटीफुल थॉट्स.
Yeah.
एंड I would again request my all the listeners to please go check Vaishnavi's Instagram handle. Do check her book. She has written some beautiful poems. Okay, यहाँ पर वैष्णवी, some poem which is actually dear to you. I'm sure जब हम poetry लिखते हैं तो बहुत मुश्किल होता
Yeah.
है चुनना, but still one poetry from you, from your book,
Yeah,
whichever.
I will just read some lines, and before that, I just had something in my mind which I just want to say on a topic which we were discussing before about the strength of a woman, right? and connecting it back to nature. Why do we call it Mother Nature and not Father Nature? I mean, that is a question which we should all have. It is because nature has given tremendous strength and the capability of raising another entire human being within a woman and not a man. So it's nothing less than a miracle when life happens within you. And any mother, I mean, you can be a mother to a teenager or someone older or a new mother will connect to this thing, that the feeling of raising a life, another human life within you itself is the biggest blessing which nature has given only to women because she can bear it. And the pain that a woman goes through while delivering her child out in the outside world, the pain, this is scientifically proven that that is the utmost bearable pain by humans. And who is bearing it? A woman is bearing it. So clearly, she is the chosen one. The nature has given her strengths which other counterparts may do not have. So naturally she's more capable, but that doesn't mean that she should, have to go through the pain again and again. So she may have the courage for it, but yeah, that's why we keep fighting, and that's why the grit of a woman is remarkable everywhere in the world. This is what I wanted to add.
True.
So yeah, and now a poem that I really love. So the title of the poem is Your Mind, Your Garden. Okay, so your mind is like your garden, which you nurture as per your vision. What you wish to reap is what exactly you need to sow. Give it fertilizers of joy and happiness, and regularly remove weeds of sorrow. Use your words and actions to shape it carefully, and water your garden with good thoughts to moisten it appropriately. Protect your garden well from rampant infestations of negativity, jealousy, anger, hatred, and unjust accusations. Focus on your parameters of self growth to get a good harvest of success and contentment both. Stay vigilant of what seeds every day you sow, because only those will occupy your mind space and endlessly grow. So that's my poem, Your Mind, Your Garden, for all of you listening.
वंडरफुल वैष्णवी, आई रियली लव दिस मेटाफर कहो या जो भी कहो कि हम अपनी बॉडी को, अपने सोल को एज अ गार्डन जब सोचते हैं, सो व्हाट ऑल वी शुड नर्चर इट विद, इट इज रियली रियली ब्यूटीफुल. बहुत प्यारी पोएम है एंड आई एम श्योर कि आपकी
Thank
बाकी पोएम्स भी बहुत प्यारी हैं. I am sure going to look forward to have your book
you.
on my table soon, and requesting all
Yeah.
my listeners to please go check Vaishnavi's profile, Instagram profile. You will have the link in the podcast also if you want to go to her page. Check out her book. She has written such beautiful poems. Her poems are actually, जिसे हम कहते हैं ना, we can check them on ourselves कि yes, रुक के हम सोच सकते हैं, we can contemplate कि oh yes, this can be done. Like in a very simple poem which she just said. हम आई एम श्योर हम बहुत लोग कई बार सोचते हैं अच्छा बोलो, पॉजिटिव बोलो. So this is a very beautiful way she has connected it to the garden. She has asked ourselves to nurture ourselves as a garden जिसमें से नेगेटिविटी का वीड निकाल देना है, सौरों का वीड निकाल देना है. एंड यू हैव टू नर्चर इट विद द, जिसे हम कहते हैं ना, एक अच्छी खाद, एक पॉजिटिविटी की खाद लेकर आनी है. उसके बुरे पत्तों को निकाल कर उसके अच्छे पत्तों को सहेजना है. सो दिस इज, आई रियली लव द analogy or metaphor, whatever you say. So really beautiful, Vaishnavi. And I would request you to please keep writing. You have a beautiful pen, you have a beautiful mind, and you have a beautiful way to express it. So keep doing this beautiful work, and congratulations once again for Nature and You. Hope to see more books, and you have inspired me कि जो मेरी book बहुत दिनों से लैपटॉप में पड़ी है, शायद उसको भी बाहर निकाल के अब किया जाए publish. After having
Yeah.
you on Tatwa Talks, it's really really motivating for me also कि अब तो कर देना चाहिए. But lovely
Yes,
interacting
yes.
with you, Vaishnavi. It's really nice to know
Same
you
here.
as a human, as a poetess, and as a mother, of course, who loves Mother Nature. So thank you very
Yeah.
much for coming on.
And yeah, I just want to take a few moments because Prachi has not introduced herself. I mean, this is for regular listeners, but if anyone is listening for the first time, please check out her profile as well. I mean, I truly admire the kind of work that you have done. and consistency is something where we all need to work on. I mean, even I think of doing 10 things in a day, but she has been doing this thing for 50 plus episodes of her podcast, and that is
Number
the first thing
58,
which
and I
struck
love
my
to see.
mind. Yeah. Yeah, so thank you, Prachi. We need more people like you who are
Thank
again unconditionally giving it back to the society, and please continue this great work that you have, and I'm truly honored for being invited on this. I have many times in my professional life been on the other side. I've hosted webinars, but
you have
you gave me
mentioned.
the honor of being a guest of on a webinar. So thanks for that. I'm really grateful.
Thank you, Vaishnavi. Thank you very much for being on the show, sparing your time with your one baby who needs you more. But still, thank you very
Yeah,
much and wish you luck for your other baby also. Please keep coming with more such books. We look forward to read. She has written such beautiful quotations also, जिनमें से मैंने कई आज पढ़े भी है. I'm not sure कि copyright issue होता है या नहीं होता, but yes, I will quote all the
no.
quotations that Vaishnavi, so I will let you know. So
Yeah,
thank you very much, guys. And again, at the end, I will quote another quote from Vaishnavi because इनके quotes मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा प्यारे लगे हैं. She writes that every new phase of life needs different versions of you, lesser like the old you and the more like the new you. This is actually beautiful, वैष्णवी. मुझे बहुत अच्छी लगी ये quote कि change भी constant है और हमें शायद खुद को धीरे धीरे change करने की जरूरत भी है. So आज के
yeah,
लिए इतना ही. Tatwa Girl will be back with more such motivating, inspiring and poetic conversations. तब तक हंसते रहिए, मुस्कुराते रहिए, अपनी मदर को और मदर नेचर को रिस्पेक्ट से, केयर से और प्यार से ट्रीट करती रहिए. थैंक यू, प्रणाम, बाय, नमस्कार.